Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. What's going on, guys? Now, I haven't made a video on Danny Garcia in a while. Honestly, I try to refrain. I've been trying to refrain from making too many Danny Garcia videos because usually when I talk about him, not too many positive things come out of my mouth about Danny Garcia. I respect the guy. I've been trying to give him more respect. I've watched some of his fights. I've gained a bit of more appreciation for his skill set. But the way he handles his business, his whole run at welterweight, and what's been reported on BoxingScene.com makes me remember why I don't like him in the first place. And if you guys haven't heard, it was reported on BoxingScene.com that Danny Garcia and his team, they were not trying to make a fight with Andre Berto happen. No. Nor were they trying to make a fight with John Molina Jr. happen. No. They were not trying to make a fight with Omar Figueroa. None of those names, okay? Instead of making a fight with guys of that magnitude, because he is in the voluntary stage. He can voluntarily pick an opponent right now because Amir Khan is mandatory, is out with injury. That fight will likely be ordered for January. So it's fine if he can pick somebody, but he's at the cherry picking again. And if you guys haven't heard, Danny Garcia and his team tried to make a fight happen with a guy by the name of Sam Eggington. And this is not a joke. Sam Eggington, 18-3 with 10 KOs. Now, if you guys don't know about Sam Eggington, this is a guy who, if you go on his box rec and you go do some research on him, he is a domestic level fighter in the UK. He is promoted by Eddie Hearn, so Eddie Hearn did have some quotes in this article. Sam Eggington is a domestic level fighter, light puncher, the right opponent for Danny Garcia. Eggington is slated to fight very soon. He's supposed to be fighting Frankie Gavin. You guys might remember that name. A lot of you guys, when you went on your whole Kell Brook is fighting nothing but bums, rants, and made those videos. Frankie Gavin was one of those guys you guys were talking about as him being a bum because Kell Brook was fighting him. Now, Eggington is a guy fighting Frankie Gavin, and that's supposed to be taking place on October 22nd. October 22nd. So, yeah, man, Eggington's a guy that, like many of Garcia's opponents at welterweight, from the Malinagis to the Guerreros to Malinagi, Guerrero. I think that's it. Pretty much been nothing but light punches at welterweight, and we want to see Danny in there with a puncher. Put him in there with a puncher, please. I mean, there's a lot of better fights for him at 140 or 147, I should say. Sam Eggington. Here's what Eddie Hearn had to say about that. Eddie Hearn said about Danny Garcia's team calling up. This is what he said. He said, I quote, "They phoned me up." Oh, and this is after Hearn had made the fight between Sam Eggington and Frankie Gavin. He said, I quote, "They phoned me up the next day and said we looked at them and we liked the Sam Eggington fight. They said 100,000. Would 100,000 do it? I said no. Don't insult us. What about 125,000? I said no. Danny Garcia, you got to be north of 150,000. And then Hearn also said to Boxing News that he would have taken Eggington would have taken the fight for $10,000, but they lowball Eggington on an offer. Keep in mind, you are Danny Garcia. You are the 147-pound WBC welterweight champion of the world. You have beaten some of the best fighters in your weight class, or your other weight class. Matisse, Amir Khan, you were the underdog. You've proven yourself. You validated yourself in the boxing game. All right? So, if you're going to offer a guy who was a domestic level fighter a fight, he should be paid nicely for it. And, no disrespect, but, $100,000? Come on, man. You got to come with more money than that, Danny. Personally, it's another cherry pick. Another cherry pick for Garcia, who ever since he beat Khan and Matisse, he wants to rest on those laurels. He's becoming a lot like Andre Ward. He's resting on the laurels of what he did 4 or 5 years ago, and that's not right. Now, Obviously, the Khan fight should happen next year. But, I mean, even if this is a voluntary fight, there are better fights out there. And we don't know what goes on behind the scenes, but I'm saying there's better fights out there. You know, you had the Andre Berto fight. I don't know what went wrong with that, but that's a fight that you should get done. Because it's a fight, honestly, you should win. Andre Berto's not that good. But it's a better fight than Sam Eggington. Now, Andre Berto's the guy. I mean, hell, you have Konstantin Panamarev, Omar Figueroa. I mean, a great fight for Danny Garcia that nobody talks about will be Frankie Gomez. Frankie Gomez is a very good fighter, solid fighter. You know, he beat Mauricio Herrera more convincingly than you did. So how much would it do for your career if you could beat a guy who beat the guy that you struggled against the most in your career? Like in Herrera, a lot of people thought Herrera got robbed in that fight, and Frankie Gomez went in there and just put it on him real bad. I mean, damn, you have. There's so many better fighters. I mean, Sam Eggington right now is currently ranked. He's not even ranked in the top 25 in the WBC rankings. He's ranked actually 26th, behind the likes of a Thomas Delorme. Thomas Delorme would even be a better fight for Danny Garcia because of the size and him being an actual puncher. But I mean, Danny Garcia. I've tried to really stop talking trash about the guy, but he's making it very, very hard. And to the cherry pick and a long line of cherry picks. So if you guys have an iPhone, an Android, go to Danny Garcia's page and put some more cherries on this page, because this guy he doesn't want to fight anybody. He does not want to fight anybody. And hopefully when that Amir Khan fight gets ordered next year, I hope Amir Khan puts it on him. I think Amir Khan will outbox him. I thought in that first fight it was lucky shot. It could happen again, honestly, because Khan's defense isn't that good, but I'm gonna hold confidence that Amir Khan will outbox Danny Garcia 9 rounds or 8 rounds to 4, 9 rounds to 3, something like that, because Amir's been waiting for this fight for a long time, and I think he's gonna win it. So it is what it is. But Danny Garcia is cherry picking once again. So you guys let me know what you think. Danny Garcia trying to fight Sam Eggington. If you guys know who that is, leave your comments down below. Take the time to subscribe, and you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Danius. So until next time, take care, guys. Alright, so one thing I wanted to say was that I didn't really realize when I made the video the first time was basically Eddie Hearn actually came out and he did say that he turned down the Sam Eggington or the Danny Garcia fight for Sam Eggington before consulting with Sam Eggington. So in that regard, I think it's wrong, because Eggington is the fighter and he had no say in it or didn't have any knowledge of it to begin with. I mean, I guess when you look at the boxing in the UK, is really jumping right now. They're doing really good ticket sales out there. I don't know if the ticket sales for Frankie Gavin and Sam Eggington is, but being that it's a good domestic level fight, both of these guys have fought on Sky Sports numerous times. I could see Gavin and Sam Eggington maybe making anywhere close to 80,000, 90,000, 100,000, and that's an easier fight for Eggington than it is Garcia. So just looking at it from that standpoint, but it probably would have been a career high payday. I don't know the man's history, so I can't really say. But yeah, just want to get that out there.